I can talk about the entrepreneurial part easier than I do with the policy. So I see it, but I think, let me start with the policy, make another totally provocative statement, and don't take that somehow on the wrong side. I think the politics is too much dealing with water, because politicians cannot get a positive actually profit from dealing with water directly, because water is always controversial, and as I said, it's emotion. And getting two emotional things together, like politics and water, is not good. So if somebody would listen to me, I would say to the government, for your policy, you think about the policy, and then you give it to an institution like a water agency, which is at the arm length of the government outside. They deal with the water issue. If they mess it up, you kick out the CEO. And as a politician, you're in great shape because you have taken action. But somehow I have the feeling here each department wants its piece of the water and kind of turns in circle. This is my policy advice, and I give it free of charge. In the industry, I think it is, I try to figure out where actually things are a little bit sticky. There are now the big companies coming in, like the GEs and General Electric and Veolia in the water, and they build up centers here because they see they can actually use and extract some technology towards the outside. If you look in the entrepreneurial area, Alberta is one of the typical smaller in population jurisdictions. When you are totally happy if you create a company, you have a spin-off and you have 50 people, and then you're stuck there. And there is where I think is the policy and the help of the government needed to make the next push. Otherwise, everybody makes enough money just to survive, that's okay. And there it needs it. And this is not subsidy of the private sector. This is helping the economy to develop. And I think that's the made in Alberta issue, is in my eyes the key.
Okay, Gordon and Bessie, we'll have to try to keep our questions short, please.
I would like to ask for a comment. What's happened in Alberta over the past 50 years that most of us here witnessed is the recession of the glaciers. And the glaciers are the source of our river waters. The trend obviously then is that sometime in the future our glaciers are going to run dry, our rivers are going to run dry. That's almost like the elephant in the back room.
Good question, and I'm happy that you asked that. The glaciers actually provide the river water only end of July, beginning of August, so in the late season. The water which comes before is snowpack. The big part is snowpack. We will lose that water because we have the glaciers are running dry, as you say, they are retracting and they are going to lose the water. We just have to dam some of the river because of the amount of water we have too much in the spring. At the spring melt, we have to retain and then manage the river flow probably with the dams. What we do here, we do it. You know, the North Saskatchewan River is highly regulated. Because if we would have still the natural flow, that river would fall dry 2 or 3 months per year, as it has before the Abraham Lake was created. And now it's low water for a few days only in the year. So we have to have technological solutions to capture this the big amount of water which comes into the spring, to stretch it into end of August. The glaciers are not bringing the water in the spring. The glaciers bring it end of July in the August area. So it's feasible. We can make solutions. We can find solutions. Thank you.
Bessie?
First of all, I want to tell you that I agree with you when you combine water with emotion and the environment. But what I'm concerned about is the effects that the water with the work that's being done at Fort McMurray. Our Aboriginal brothers are very concerned about contamination and contaminating the watershed. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, the tailing ponds, let's see, we have this industry, and the big industry will have an impact. And we have to show, and actually Alberta does, a lot of work in diminishing this effect. You cannot go to zero. It's almost impossible. It's too big. That's one thing. So I think there is enough, or there is a lot of activity, maybe not yet enough. The problem which I see are the tailing ponds. They are huge. This is 1 cubic kilometer of water. That's not 10 ponds anymore. They are lakes. This is, in my eyes, an issue we have to solve. We have the technology. We could solve it. But it costs. That means it reduces the profit. And if we are taking our effort together to solve this issue of the tailing ponds, I think a lot of this kind of slow infiltration of water which is contaminated into the river will stop. Because these tailing ponds, they lose water. They are built in sand. You don't tell me, and even if you put linings in there, there's always some water somewhere leaking out. This is an issue we have to deal with. And we have to deal with as a province. We have to find a solution. We may get, for a few years, $1 or $2 less per barrel, but with this money you can do it. We have to do it. I totally agree with you. But you have to communicate that you are aware it is an issue, and that we are doing it, and that we do something. Show it, be transparent, and then you can, an accident can happen, and everybody will be all over us. But if you have been transparent before and transparent after, the uproar will go down quite fast. Things will go into the normal, into the normal pace. Be transparent. Show what you do, and show that you understand. This is an issue we have to solve.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, such a fascinating speaker. We could be here for much longer, and I have extended our time a little bit, but I thought the questions were to the point and the interest was there, so I hope you'll forgive me for that. But now I'd like to call on Val Braden to give thanks to our speaker.
I think Dr. Zender has made us more aware of the value of water in our society, our personal lives, and all aspects of it. So you've all got a glass of water. And I invite you all to drink it, please, before you leave, so it's not wasted. Because otherwise this will all go down the drain. And it is treated water by Epcor. So enjoy your glass of water so you don't get dehydrated. The ladies and the gentlemen's is right over there as you leave. And I would also like to invite Dr. Judge, when he's able to go back to Kinsman Pool and dive in, that he really enjoys that huge big tank of water that's Kinsman Pool. So please do that, Dr. Judge. Enjoy your next time in the pool. So, to not delay this any further, you're going to drink your water. Every one of you, please. Unless you're on a water-restricted diet, please drink your water before you go home. Now, to express our gratitude to Dr. Zender, today the Canadian Club of Edmonton will make a monetary donation to a charity of his choice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And